Hey guys! So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about a memorable job interview that I had. So I don't know, not many of you probably know this, but before I was a social worker and worked with you guys, I was a sports reporter at a newspaper, the Tampa Bay Times. Some of you might get it at your houses. And when I was in college, I was studying to be a journalist, and I got a memo from a professor that an editor from the Tampa Bay Times was coming by my university in North Carolina to interview people who were interested in working at the Tampa Bay Times. But he was a business editor, so he was interviewing people who wanted to report on businesses and more breaking news type stuff. And I wasn't a business reporter. I knew I wanted to report on sports, but I knew I really wanted to work at the Tampa Bay Times. So what I did was I signed up for an interview slot anyway, and I got into the interview and I shook his hand and introduced myself, and I explained that I didn't want to be a business reporter, that I wanted to be a sports reporter, but that I was really interested in working for the Tampa Bay Times, and I knew a lot of information about the Tampa Bay Times, and I shared with him all the research I had done, and it seemed like he liked me, and he passed my name along to the sports editor at the Tampa Bay Times, and sure enough, 4 months later I got a job at the Tampa Bay Times, and I moved to Florida, and the rest is history. So what I learned from that job interview is I did take a little bit of a risk by signing up for an interview spot, even though the guy wasn't there to interview sports reporters, but I took a risk and advocated for myself by saying, "Hi, I'm Kelly Parsons, and I want to be a sports reporter at your newspaper." And it paid off for me because I ended up getting a job. So I think an important lesson that you could take from that is to always be an advocate for yourself and always take any opportunity to network with other people. So even though this man was never my boss or never my editor, because he was the editor for the business section, I was able to make a connection with him, and he was able to pass my phone number and information along to the sports editor, who then hired me. So always, always, always take any opportunity to introduce yourself to people who might be able to give you an opportunity, and always, always, always advocate for yourself.